We'll start. Three Omkara, join your palms in Namaskar Mudra. Om. 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 Om Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ॐ गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मत् आचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वंदे गुरु परंपरा। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Yeah, Jyoti, will you chant from 20 onwards?
Yes. गुणाने ओम श्री कृष्णाय परमात्मने नमः। अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः गुणत्रय विभाग योगः। गुणानेतानतीन्यत्रीन् देहि देह समुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्युजरा दुःखैः विमुक्तो मृतमश्नुते। कैर्लिङ्गैस्त्रीन् गुणानेतान् अतिथो भवति प्रभो किमाचारः कथं चैतान् त्रीन् गुणानति वर्तते प्रकाशं च प्रवृत्तिं च
भगवान वाचा वाला थोड़ा बोलो। अर्जुन वाचा भगवान वाचा।
श्री भगवान वाचा प्रकाशं च प्रवृत्तिं च मोहमेव च पाण्डवा न द्वेष्टि संप्रवृत्तानि न निवृत्तानि काङ्क्षति। उदासीनवदासीनः गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणा वर्तन्त इत्येव योऽवतिष्ठति नेङ्गते समदुःखसुख स्वस्थः समलोष्टाश्म काञ्चनः तुल्यप्रिया प्रियो धीरः तुल्यनिन्दात्म संस्तुतिः मानापमानयोस्तुल्यः तुल्यो मित्ररिपक्षयोः सर्वारं परित्यागी गुणातीत स उच्यते.
Yeah, 25th we are seeing. We just chanted, it seems. Manapamanayostulyah tulyo mitraripakchayoh sarvarambha parityage gunatita sa uchyate. So this is what we were saying. Manapamanayostulyaha. The same in honor and dishonor. The same to friend and foe, abandoning all undertaking. He is said to have risen above the gunas. So who has risen above the gunas? What is the quality of the gunatita? The lakshana of gunatita we could see here. He who is manapamanayoh. So in mana, in honor, and in apamana, in dishonor. Tulya, whose mind is steady, whose mind is balanced, who is not disturbed, who will not take it into heart, who will not feel bad in both, or he will not feel overjoyed or sad. The mana comes what? Mana comes when the feeling of I is there. I am done. The same way apamana also. As long as this feeling of I comes, I-ness is there, the mana apana comes. When we grow beyond, above mana and apamana, there is no point in feeling bad, right? Then what? That tulya, the mind is steady. Tulyo mitrari pakshayoh. And same in dealing with the friend and enemy. For a person who has gone above the three gunas, will not have this friend or enemy attitude also, because he don't have any attachment with anybody. He is so and so is friend, so and so is my enemy, because mind is even, isn't it? So when that tulya and manapamana is not there, because they see Archimedes told Eureka, Eureka, and run in the street in naked. Why? He is not bothered about his body, because he was joyed with the discovery which he has done it, and he has gone beyond it, beyond the mana apamana. That is the state when we go Atmam Sarva Bhudeshu, everything that Atma Chaitanya, then there is no enemy and friend also, right? That feeling also will not come. The person who is having or grown above this Mitra and Ripu, or the enemy and friend, such type of attitude. Mitrari Pakshayoh Tulya. Mitra and Shatru will not be discriminated. Means a real social worker also should be like that. That's what a real social reformer, for him also there should not be any attachment with any of this. Otherwise, when he is getting transfer, he will be having very much attached to the place where he is working, the people who are associated with him, then it will be very difficult for him to get transfer. I know.
Even for a teacher, sir, when we teach one class, we also attach to the children. Then they also have that special mind and all that.
That network is having problems.
Then they feel so bad and they don't learn from other teacher.
बराबर है. It is applicable for everybody. अभी रामकृष्ण जी को बोलेंगे, he is working in BBMB and he is very near to hometown and he is getting a transfer to another place. If he think that, array, how I will go, I am so much attached, I am very much happy with the place where I am working, it will be very difficult to manage the things. है ना रामकृष्ण जी? Buying stuff. I know many employees, they will not prefer for the transfer. Transfer many times comes with what? Transfer with the what is called promotion comes with the transfer. So promotion they will not allow, they will not accept it because the transfer is there, because of the attachment. I don't want promotion, so that let me stay back here only. So our growth also we are ready to compromise. Our salary also we are ready to compromise. है क्या, Jyoti?
Sir, even in kids also, about my son Ayush, he's not ready to go to another teacher's class except Raji ma'am's. Raji ma'am is
Attachment.
there. Yeah, if Raji ma'am is there, then only he will attend the class. Otherwise, he will not attend. So many times I convinced him, but he was not ready to listen to any other teacher.
It's also a problem. Even in our yoga classes also, batches, different batches, whoever is taking first time, the participants are very much attached to the teachers. So if there comes, they will attend. There was a time they will watch from outside and who is taking, they will see. If their comfortable teacher is not there, they will roll the mat and go. That also is there. Attend a class, whomever is taking, let us one day to adjust. No, I will attend if so and so is taking class. This Arambham. And another is a Sarvarambha Parityagi. So they give up this kind of intuition of project all the time. Means that feverishness. Sarvarambha Parityagi. He will not start an action with a selfish attitude. That selfishness, Arambha here means about the work which is being done for themselves, for a selfish attitude, for money or any fame or anything which is having a attached attitude or with the expectation of the result alone. That is Arambha here means. Arambha is having to start. But what to start? Not other activities with unselfish. No, this here it is selfish Arambha. So that Arambha also will not do it. With that attitude also, with selfish attitude also, he will not start a Kamya Karma, not Nishkama Karma. So that Kamya Karma, he will not have that, he will not Arambha, he will not do it. Because that disturbances is not there. He will do what comes, what is to be done immediately. No second thought. Do what is supposed to be. That alertness, it will be there. and saha gunatita uchyate. He is being called, he can be defined, he can be called as a gunatita. What is the nature? He will not get without any disturbances in the manapamanayos tulyaha. Tulyo mitrari patthayoh. Mitra and Ripu is not there. Sarvarambha parityagi. He will start the work immediately as and when it comes, the need comes. C is to be called as a Gunatita. These are the Lakshana of the Gunatita. In the last two slokas, it is been explained. The Lakshana. The next one is the last question of Arjuna. How to overcome that? How to overcome these problems, this attachment, this selfishness, this and how to go above the Sattva-raja guna avasthas. That is what in the 26th sloka Krishna is explaining. Mam cha yo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. We'll chant.
I will chant.
Okay. Mam cha yo bhyabhicharena
Mam cha yo vyabhicharena, mam cha yo vyabhicharena,
bhakti yogena sevate
bhakti yogena sevate, bhakti yogena sevate,
sagunan samatityaitan
sagunana samititan, sagunan samatitetan,
brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
brahma bhuyaya kalpate, brahma bhuyaya kalpate,
Mam cha yo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
mam cha yo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Mam cha vyobhicharena yah avidhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sah gunan samatityaitan guna ati etan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Mam me cha and yah who avyabhicharena unsavoring bhakti yogena with devotion sevate serves sa he gunas samatitya crossing beyond etan these brahma bhuyaya for becoming brahman kalpate is fitted, and he who serves me with an unswerving devotion, he going beyond the gunas is fitted for becoming brahman.
Can read.
Macha yo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan Brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Mam cha yogyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhutaya kalpate.
Brahma bhuyaya. Yeah, Ramashraji.
Yes, sir. Manchayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
Mom, me, mine, to me, avyabhicharena, without disturbed, the straight, steady, with steadfastness, without any deviation. That is avyabhicharena, without vyabhichara, without any change of mindset. Mamcha yo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. One who serves me through this bhakti without any disturbances, undisturbed way, is what sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. They gain all this, they transcend all gunas. They cross all these gunas. They go beyond all these gunas. Sagunan samatityaitan. Samadita, they go above. And what happens? Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. They become fit to be one with the Brahma. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. They are eligible to be with the one, eligible with the oneness with the Brahma. They are only eligible to be with the one, what is called Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. To merge with the Brahma, to self-realization, they are only eligible. Who is going beyond this vyabhichara thought, abhyabhicharena, and with that bhakti on me, they sagunan samatityaitan. So that seva bhava, that seva of me, service to me, every action as a service to me, that type of people are eligible to go sattvaraja-tamo gunatita. That's what when Ramakrishna Paramahamsa also says that bhakti alone, bhakti, through bhakti only you can control the mind. That is one of the easiest way to control the mind. Bhakti, samarpana. So instead of controlling, I am sitting for meditation, dhyana yoga. For what? To control my mind, control the thoughts, to go beyond the gunas. I am sitting in dhyana yoga, taking the refuge of Raja Yoga. I will do it. Very easy to say so and start doing, then the lot of problems will happen. So directly to control this, directly to go beyond it is very difficult. One of the easiest way is bhakti. This bhakti is nothing but seva. Bhakti is nothing but service. Bhakti is doing the action with the divine. This attitude, if we can develop, is the easiest way. Ishwariya Karya. That way of attitude, if we can bring it, So Yomam Sevate, that Sevata, one who serves me. Every action is a service of God. That attitude we can bring it. Then to achieve the goal of reaching to Brahma is possible. Going beyond the guna is possible. So in any general philosophy, we call as individual ego, as what you can say, our personality. So go beyond the individual personality means individual ego has to surrender for the supreme. That becomes the supreme ego, that is to surrender. So that is the highest ego, that is Parama. To reach into that, we have to leave this individual ego. Then only the highest we can reach it. Through what? Through bhakti, bhakti sadhana. So bhakti sadhana become a path. So a path to achieve that. Anything you wanted to add to it? Every chapters, the concluding part is coming in the same attitude in this Karma Yoga. The real concept of Karma Yoga will add to every concept for Jnana, for Raja, for Dhyana, for everywhere that this aspect he will add to it. Every time this will be added to it, but no change in us. हम तो सुनने के लिए तैयार हैं, करने के लिए तैयार नहीं है क्या? फिर भी झगड़ा करेंगे, फिर भी गुस्सा करेंगे, फिर भी आवाज करेंगे घर में.
नमस्ते सर.
नमस्ते. हो गया आपका क्लास?
Yes sir.
जल्दी खत्म.
How many shlokas did I miss, sir?
हैं?
How many shlokas did I miss? Explanation.
Only one.
Thank you, sir.
So your fever, everything reduced?
Yeah, fever is not there. I think so. No, throat congestion and some cold, something like that.
So what I mean to say is, don't be a listener alone. Put it into action. 27th shloka will see. Brahmano hi pratisthaham amrutasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya सुखस्य एकांतिकस्य च. कौन चैंट करेंगे?
I will.
ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम्.
ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम्. ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम्.
अमृतस्य व्ययस्य च.
अमृतस्य व्ययस्य च. अमृतस्य व्ययस्य च.
शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य.
शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य. शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य.
सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च.
सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च. सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च.
ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्य व्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च
ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्य व्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च ब्रह्मणः हि प्रतिष्ठाहं अहम् अमृतस्य व्ययस्य अमृतस्य अव्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्य एकान्तिकस्य च Brahmanah of Brahman, he indeed, Pratishtha, the abode, Aham, I, Amritasya, the immortal, Avyayasya, of the immutable, Cha and Shashvatasya, of everlasting, Cha and Dharmasya, of Dharma, Sukhasya, of bliss, Ekantikasya, absolute, Cha and for I am the abode of Brahman, the immortal and the immutable, the eternal Dharma and absolute bliss.
Please chant, Kalaji.
ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतं स्याव्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्यैकान्तिकस्य च
अमृतस्य व्ययस्य च Rameshji.
Yes, sir. Brahmano hi pratishthaham amrutasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya ikantikasya cha.
Anybody would like to chant? Yeah.
Brahmano hi pratisthaham amritasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya cha.
So, Brahmano hi pratisthaham Amritasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya ekantikasya cha. For I am the abode of Brahman. I am that Paramatma. He means why? Because indeed Aham, that Brahman, Avyayasya Amritasya cha, that immortal and immutable, the immortal and imperishable, Amritasya, and Avyayasya, everlasting, Sukha Saikantikasya cha, of infinite one. Means that Brahma, I am that the source of all happiness. I am the bliss of all. That one-pointed happiness is what I am, that Brahma, Aham. So Brahmano hi pratishtaham. So I am the base of all the Shashwata, the permanent, immortal, blissful happiness. And that is what I am. I am that base. I am that dharma, which is nashwara, without any decay. Anashwara, anadi, ananda, infinite, avyaya. So it is like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, what is that difference between that Nirguna Brahma and Saguna Brahma? Nirguna Brahma is coiled snake, snake without any action. That is Prakriti. The snake without any movement is coiled. When the snake start moving straight or in the motion, that is the Saguna Brahma. What is expressed? What is the action in the motion state? So universe with this action and motion and is what is the Saguna. Nirguna is what is Nirakara, without that. So same that incarnate, the Purusha comes with the Shakti, is the nature, the Prakriti. That is the truth that we need to understand. This truth we don't understand, because of that only all these problems. This Satya we don't believe. We believe in Asatya, or we are behind this Asatya. All the rumors and unwanted thought process, and we are being brainwashed with all this non-truthful thought process. Because of this Satya, we don't quest, we don't inquire, we don't try to find out it. This finding the truth by our search is not happening. This Chirapuratana, Nitya Nutana, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, the truth, that Brahma Tattva we don't understand or believe, or we are running behind it. That's why when Swami Vivekananda went to the America, in one of the talk, somebody asked the question or told or criticized him, you are hypnotizing us with this talk. You are hypnotizing us. Then Swami Vivekananda told, no, I am not hypnotizing, I am de-hypnotizing you all. You all are with so many confusion. You are with so many do's and don'ts. You are with so many beliefs of the text, the beliefs of the intuitions or disbelief or the fact without any fact findings. So this all, come into our brain and we are running here. This is what happens in the society. The time, the need of the hour is to de-hypnotize us. Remove this unwanted thought process and make yourself free. Free to absorb the good thoughts. That is Veda says. Let all good thoughts comes from different places. Ready to accept the fact. Ready to accept fact and believe it. Are we ready to accept this fact? Are we ready to believe that fact? Are we ready to find out the truth? Are we ready to search for it? This is dehypnotizing. This is what Vedanta says. This is what Vedanta teaches. मैं छोटा हूं, मैं बड़ा हूं, मैं पुअर हूं, मैं नारी हूं, मैं स्त्री हूं, मैं पुरुष हूं, ये सभी thought process में हम भरा हुआ है. And we keep on fighting on this small things. we keep on fighting for is this discriminations and all. This is what we need to understand. In the earlier, in my talk also, I was telling the same. This empowerment of women is nothing but this discrimination. We have to remove it. This thought process, we have to remove it from our mind. This is what empowerment. This search for the truth, we need to find out. Go beyond this attitude. So this is what dehypnotizing. This quarrel we have to stop. So this is what science also says, how that Shraddha, find out that tattva, find out that truth, then we can reach to the highest, that is Brahma, that is the real, isn't it? This Maya, we have to remove it. Unless if you don't remove the Maya, you cannot reach to Mayavi. We cannot gain that Mayavi. We cannot understand Mayavi. The highest Mayavi, highest magician. When you understand the magic, the magician become immaterial. Hana? So magic is powerful only when we don't understand the technique, the magic behind it. So only when we will be able to understand the tattvam behind it, the truth behind it, when you understand, we become one with that. That is what we need to leave, that Maya. This Maya is nothing but this guna. The Purusha's expression of the creation of nature, the Prakriti, is through this Maya. This Maya's expression in the humanity is through this gunas. These gunas are making us to fight. Gunas are making us to be sad. These gunas are making us to get attached. Gunas are making us to be detached. Gunas are making us to fight. Gunas are making us to degrade ourselves. Gunas are making us to feel bad. Gunas are making us to be overjoyed. All these different things which we can see in the society is nothing but Maya. Is this delusion? Is this expression of different diversions? What is called plurality in the humanity. So this plurality in the humanity, this diversion, only when we can live, when you go beyond it and reach into that truth, that highest Brahma is Satya. So Jagad Midhya Param Brahma, that Brahmam Satyam Jagad Midhya, the Shankaracharya's thought. Jagat is Midhya, Jagat is Maya, Jagat is Guna, based on Guna, and that is alone, Ishvara alone, Brahma alone, that Paramatma alone, that Sachit Ananda Swarupa alone is Satya. Surrender to it. Then the tremendous changes we can see it. Yeah, Sitaji can chant. Om Tatsaditi.
Om Tatsatiti.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su.
Upanishads.
Upanishads.
Brahma Vidyayam.
Brahma Vidyayam.
Yoga Shastre.
Yoga Shastre.
Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade.
Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade.
Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogo Nama.
Gunatraya Vibhaga Yogo Nama.
Chaturdashodhyayaha.
Chaturdashodhyaya.
Okay.
Yeah. Shall I read that?
Yeah. What
This
you are
is,
going to read, you just tell.
yeah, that's what. This is the one of the, Narayaniam is actually the condensed form of Srimad Bhagavatam. See, Srimad Bhagavatam has got 18,000 shlokas. Narayaniam has been condensed to 18,000 shlokas. I mean, it has been condensed to 1036 shlokas. And what I read, only few, this thing I have read. So from that, what I understood is that even if you read one sloka, half sloka, quarter of a sloka every day, you still go towards the path of the Brahman. That's what is explained here. So this one particular sloka pertains to the explanation of the three gunas. So that's why I just wanted to read it. So I'll just read the sloka as well as the explanation. Satvam yatat parabhyam aparikalanatho nirmalam tena tavat bhutair bhutendriyaiste vapuriti bahushaha shruyate vyasavakyam tatsvachat tatsvachatvadya dachadita parasukachid गर्भनिर्भासरूपं तस्मिन् धन्यारमन्ते श्रुतिमतिमधुरे सुग्रहे विग्रहे ते. So this shloka eulogizes the qualities of sattva guna, the constitute of nature, which is the essence of all that is good and subtle, which is embodied in the divine attributes of the Lord. An exposition of all the three gunas is essential to appreciate the meaning of the sloka. To start with, Maya, which is the root cause for the existence of this entire universe and the creations therein, is an admixture of all the three gunas, constituents of Prakriti, nature, Sattvam, Rajas, and Tamas. The differences in behavior we see from creation to creation, man to man, and creature to creature are entirely due to differences in the distribution of these three gunas. So, Sattva guna. Of these three gunas, constituents of nature, Sattva guna is pure, flawless, clear, and transparent, self-effulgent, and incapable of doing any harm. It creates desire to acquire knowledge and seek happiness, even in a totally detached person. But the moment such a person gets interested in any object, he becomes attached and consequently bonded to it. A person who is so attached solely by virtue of the effect of Sattva guna tends to perform more and more virtuous deeds without expectation of rewards and worships deities without any discrimination, as that guna manifests in him in increasing measure. He is humble by nature, respects and worships gods, good and learned people, with special regard to his preceptors, is soft-spoken and does not cause any harm to anyone. He consumes only limited quantities of food acquired without causing any harm to anyone, and that too just to give himself adequate energy to sustain life. He would be keenly interested in controlling the sense organs and learning the scriptures, ever willing to practice charity, to follow religious paths, to view everything with equanimity, to give up vasanas, impressions left in the mind on account of past experiences like kama, lust, krodha, anger, lobha, avarice, moha, pride, infatuation, mada, arrogance, intoxication, and matsarya, jealousy, to lead a contented life, to work towards universal happiness, and be the breeding ground for good qualities like Sama, Dama, Shama, Satya, Ahimsa, etc. Such people will become more and more concentrated in Sattva guna and ultimately become one with Paramatman. Rajoguna and Tamoguna however, manifests frequently in an effort to contaminate, malign, and pull down even that very eminently desirable quality, namely Satoguna and its associated results. So now explanation about Rajoguna. Rajoguna is desire and action oriented. It creates all sorts of desires in the human mind and prompts action to achieve the end result. The person having a preponderance of Rajoguna gets more and more attached to worldly objects and becomes a slave of the 6 vasanas stated above. In order to achieve his objective, he propitiates spirits, demigods, and lesser deities. He eats enormous quantities of food comprising of meat and savories, highly saltish, sour, and pungent. All his actions are directed away from the righteous path, governed by desire, nay, avarice, contrived to acquire riches by hook or by crook, even stooping down to the level of robbing and cheating. If he gives anything to anyone, it is not with willingness, but only with the intention of gaining more in the long run. He pretends to do good things like yagas, sacrifices, etc., with the sole intention of gaining respectability in society. Depending upon the concentration of Rajoguna, such people become perpetrators of many crimes and are forced to take innumerable number of births necessary to endure the fruits of their actions. Chances are there for such men to get uplifted due to association with Sattva-guna or fall down to association with Tamoguna. So now the explanation about Tamoguna. Tamoguna is the worst and the most dreadful of the 3 gunas. Creating ignorance, it tends to promote carelessness, lethargy, stupor, etc. and prompts the subject to untruth, anger, and violence. He worships the devil, fiends, and other evil spirits, has a peculiar affinity to putrid and offensive food. If at all he does anything good, it is not with devotion or attention, but just to gain cheap popularity. All such actions are really targeted to cause harm to others. He performs unrighteous acts all the time and continues endlessly in the birth-death cycle to endure the results of all his sins. As aforesaid, in the character, behavior, and activities of all human beings can be traced to the distribution pattern of the 3 gunas. In general, preponderance of Rajoguna and Tamoguna results in atheism, corruption, untruth, wickedness, and evil, all enemies of sane, good virtues. So it is in order to uproot evil and injustice and re-establish righteousness that the Lord has assumed different incarnations as stated by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. For the protection of the virtues, destruction of the evil, and re-establishment of righteousness, I shall be born from age to age. It is the net result of all actions of the previous births that forces us to bind ourselves with the 3 gunas and accept the form suitable for the role we have to play in the succeeding birth. But the Lord's incarnation is very much different from the rebirth of man because he is not bound by the actions of the previous incarnations and their results. In that case, how does he get bound by Maya? As his role is fixed, he has to take the form that rightly fits that role, essential to dispel evil and re-establish righteousness. An exemplary form, which is also the embodiment of the pristine purity and divinity of Sattva Guna, to match the function of attracting and leading the devotees to the path of devotion and ultimately to salvation. Unadulterated Sattva Guna alone has contributed to the origin of the 5 elements, the 5 organs of perception, the 5 organs of action, and the mind, for the formation of his charming image at the temple of Guruvayur. The repeated statements of Vedavyasa, who is the Lord's own incarnation and whose words are therefore trustworthy, have been loudly proclaiming these facts through the 18 Puranams. So now I also want to I also will conclude read the summary in a small this thing. I've just written a little bit of the summary. That also I'll just read it off. Krishna's part of the dialogue reaffirms the qualities of a person who has found enlightenment and comes to understand the true nature of the self. Krishna gives more detail about the nature of the three gunas. Attachment to any one of the gunas will hold a person back, keeping them in the cycle of death and rebirth. However, the gunas of Rajas and Tamas are particularly detrimental to a person's process of enlightenment. Although Sattva seems desirable when it is held as an attachment, it can keep one bound. For example, over-attachment to the pursuit of knowledge or joy can keep a person embodied. Conversely, Sattva without attachment can help a person leave the cycle of death and rebirth. Krishna names Sattva as the ruling trait of a person who is on the path of understanding and knowledge. The light of knowledge shines forth through all the gates of the body in these people. This is one way such a person can be recognized and set apart from those still ruled primarily by Rajas or Tamas. Many things can affect the rebirth of a person. The ruling guna at the time of death will determine the situation of a person will experience when reborn into the next life. Those who die while ruled by Rajas are born to people who are attached to action, whereas those who die while ruled by Tamas are born to people who are deluded. This distinction could imply that a person who has led a good life could be reborn into a poor incarnation if they die in a state of anger. Although a person is ruled primarily by one guna or another, it is possible for that person to move back and forth between secondary gunas over a course of a lifetime. That's it.
Yeah, good.
I've
Nice that,
explained the three gunas also, plus the conclusion also. I finished everything at one go.
any text like Narayaniyam, if you go through it, we get the same principle in different forms, different ways of saying or explaining the same truth. That's what in all the text we can find out. When you tell the gist of tomorrow next class, others also try to tell. While telling, make note of it, make notes, but tell what you understood from the notes so that everybody will understand. So more than the reading alone, some point of it in which you just analyze it and tell what you are feeling of it, and then make use of the notes. Just points only you keep your in front of you and tell from what you that way it will be, everybody will be more involved into it. So try to involve others also when you are telling. Okay, Jyoti ji, next class try to tell whatever you understood out of this. Ramushna ji, Kavita ji, Kala ji, everybody. Okay, we'll conclude it here now. Thank you. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tassa Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Shubhratri. See you.
Shubhratri, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.